Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, Strong Style Cinephile, and X-Men 97. I know we still have to talk about last week's episode, Love, Death Part 2, which I'll do a separate video on that. I'm not going to let these episodes snowball and get way behind in talking about them, rest assured, as I've admittedly done with some other series. But no, X-Men 97, we're not going to do that with X-Men 97. Let's geek about it for a scant few minutes. Had to stay up for it to go live on Disney Plus till 2 in the morning. I'm paying for that today. Just a few hours of sleep. Not a, not a spring chicken anymore. Can't do it like I used to. Um, but it was another great episode. It was kind of um, one of the questions I posted on my Facebook last week at the tail end of that episode was like, was it the first like sort of episode that we've seen from the show? And then some people are like, well, you kind of needed this breather sort of moment coming off of the attack on the decimation of Genosha. And I was like, okay, I can understand. I could see that. They're not all going to be winners. I understand that. But this episode kind of ratchets things back up a little bit. We get some action. We open up with the funeral for Gambit and the sadness that that brings. Some great character moments with that. People kind of wondering where Rogue is. You saw from the sneak preview clip that Rogue is going rogue and attempting to hunt down Bolivar Trask, who is primarily responsible for unleashing the Sentinel that again decimated Genosha. You see her just a rogue unleashed is a scary thing. It was great to see. She did a rider kick, which was like, for the common rider mark that I am, was awesome. We saw from the trailer that they dropped um, uh, a bit ago that a certain shield from a certain Star Spangled Man landed at the foot of somebody. We didn't see who it was at the time because it was just like the edge of the foot, but now we see it was Rogue's boot. Of course, we can match the color now. And Captain America confronted her, and he didn't do like too much in the episode, but I think what he brought to it was enough considering the circumstances of what's going on and how the Avengers are trying to. I mean, realistically, they're trying to straddle the fence. It's very much like in the comics where like the X Men, the mutants, have all this like ill shit going on. The Avengers are just kind of over here being everybody's favorite super team with their government liaison and contracts and just generally being seen as okay, while the X Men are just kind of seen as like the redheaded stepchildren of the superhero world. Not really to us, of course, but in the world of Marvel, I think. Um, so he had a role in this, part to play in the overall plot. And then you see them confront Trask, reveal some very um, scary things, and one hell of a cliffhanger. See Cable back involved. We see this human sentinel robot cyborg hybrid type thing going on. A certain purple faced, pink faced individual shows up. All in all, it was a great episode. Like I said, we're not really going to go unless I specifically need to, like we did with the Genosha decimation. Not going to go spoilers beat by beat of the episodes. Just speaking generalities. It was a great episode. We saw some things. Got back to some good action. We're still dealing with this kind of weird situation with Scott and Jean, and the fact that he is mourning Madeline, and it's just weird to kind of see, like, because Scott and Jean, they're having these moments and they're kind of holding hands here and there, but he's thinking about Madeline. He just had this mental sort of affair thingy with Madeline. Speaking of mental affairs, we see that Emma Frost survived. Now I forgot. I don't know if it was on Facebook or if it was on some of the message boards or Reddit that I go to, where somebody was kind of theorizing that Emma Frost was going to be discovered to have survived the attack by doing her whole diamond form thing. So kudos to that person that theorized that. But it was interesting to kind of see the reaction to what's going on, because as we learned in the previous episode in Love Death, that mutants who were trying to flee Genosha were not being welcomed by other countries, so they were just kind of SOL, which is kind of a dick move. And you have uh, Trish, the newspaper chick, show up, and her and Beast have a moment where Beast is kind of like the attack on Genosha has kind of changed him in a way and kind of hardened some of his edges, and you see that with his interaction with her, and you kind of could see in previous episodes that maybe there's going to be like a thing between them, and then even as they go off to talk to each other, it kind of seemed like there's going to be a thing between them. And I think that this this event has kind of changed that, kind of tweaked that just a little bit. Um, see Roberto dealing with his big secret to his parents, and the grand like coming out to them, but then that brings further complications and things that I think aren't exactly going to, they're going to drive him away from his family and more towards the X-Men, and maybe we'll see that evolve as the season goes on in the remaining episodes. And of course in season 2 we'll see him more as a dedicated X-Man, as opposed to just being a rich boy who just doesn't want to mess up the status quo by telling people that he's a mutant. Remains to be seen. All in all, it was just a good, fun episode, an emotional one, as far as like dealing with the funeral and then having Rogue kind of finally let it out as far as like her feelings. Although I like how she claims Gambit in one instance, she was still kind of tripping over like Magneto as well. So it's like she's still kind of like, just digging the knife in my boy a little bit. But it is what it is. She can be upset with him and not because she wanted to bone him or used to bone him or whatever. Whatever. But it was another just great episode in this series. Like I said, they're not all gonna be winners, but this was a fantastic episode. I would still at this point say like first episode, third, second. Damn. I'm gonna have to go back through them again. The next video, when I talk about the previous episode, Life Death, I'll have a renewed ranking of the episodes. But like I said, great episode. If you're not watching the series, I don't know what's wrong with you. If you're watching the series, I know you're loving it like I am, and I'm so glad that we're going to get a season 2. That's in stone. That's we're getting a season 2. We're not gonna get left off at any shitty cliffhanger. Like Wolverine and the X-Men, they have time to plan and really slow roll these stories as they need to, because there's only so many episodes. We're not really super slow rolling things, but it's just a fantastic show, and I'm loving it and enjoying it, and I'm just here for more, here for all the X-Men 97 that they give us. But those are my thoughts on it, scattered as they often are. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media. Talk to me there. Talk to me here. Of course, always. Oh, yeah. So, if you're going to be in the Mountain Pine, Arkansas area, it's coming Saturday. It's SCW. It's the Strong Style Cinephile, Sebastian Envy against Kyle Love. And a shot at the SCW Cruiserweight title hangs in the balance. So, yeah. Come see me do what I do. Go places, kick faces. I make movies. I kick faces. It's just what I do. But anyway, until next time, let us geek.